I'm turning this down. Look pro though, like ESPN.
24, Raphael Peterson. Number 20, George Ward.
The Detroit Cooley Cardinals are the champions.
You get my have it ready, and the applause. You gotta go live. You ready? Cause it's going down there. Kick it. I was trying to say it on the screen. Welcome to State Champions Podcast, where it is always a celebration. On this podcast, we discuss people, politics, community, and culture. What would a podcast be with two great friends, 37 years, current coach, former coach, be without discussing sports? That's right. We are forever, Class A state champions. Forever. I'm your co-captain, Raphael Peterson. To my left, to your right, George T. Ward Jr. Let's give him a round of applause. Now listen. Now, G, we here today. Now, this episode here with two legends. Sick. They don't just see you and me. They see a dude to my left, to y'all right, to my right, to y'all left. Yeah. I'm talking about some high school legends. Sick. You talking about, listen, we going to introduce the senior first. We talking about Bernard Hall, Detroit, Henry Ford's finest. And then to my right, and to everybody's left, you talking about Carlos Marino, Detroit Central's finest. Best tight end in the Midwest in 1988. Man. So, man, I think this show is going to be so profound. For one, we have two guys who were All-Americans, who were great people and just doing outstanding things coming out of the city of Detroit. Yep. I remember just hearing the name Bernard Hall. It struck fear into the football players over at Cooley. I know they'd be mad that I'm saying this, but it was fearful. You Bernard Hall, y'all know who Bernard Hall is. Henry Ford. Yeah. That's all they talked about.
Yeah, he only played a half every game.
Yeah, he only played a half every game. Yeah. So what I think for today's show, G, we ain't gonna do too much talking. I think what we gonna do, we gonna let the senior take over. B Hall, I want you to tell everybody coming out of high school. Yeah. Give us some facts that nobody probably know about you. I'm talking about your skill set, who you was recruited by. Give us all those things that were, and a young guy who been recruited out of high school. Just tell the people who don't know about your career starting in high school.
And how you ended up in Norman, Oklahoma. We need to hear it.
Wow. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm elated to be here. My boy G Ward, man, we go back so far. It's ridiculous. And you, Ralph, you my man. I first came up to Cooley, and you ain't know who I was. But after you gave me a pass, we was all
y'all
there.
Good.
There you go.
And if he passed it to you, y'all straight.
Ain't no question. And then me and my man Carlos over there, I just was all. People gonna laugh, but I was just almost in tears before we started this right here, because we go from, I'm talking about young lads.
Okay.
From I'm talking about Pop Warner all the way up, you know what I mean? Wow. And families know each other. Mm-hmm. Kept up with him, he keep up with me, and it's still a brotherhood, man.
There you go. Love it.
Getting to what we were talking about, and in my career and starting out, I really always had a little more in me and like to do a lot of things. So I didn't talk about ball unless somebody said something to me.
Okay.
They say when you're a champ, you ain't supposed to brag. You hear the whispers. There you go.
Listen,
I'm a state champ.
There you go.
Right. That's him.
That's right. But still, see, one thing about it, B Hall. One thing that I remember, I'm dead serious about coming to games and seeing you play, and then just the name ringing around the city of Detroit. Yeah. So whatever you think, and I'm telling you, it's a lot of people in their minds, you're going to always be a champion, especially from that Detroit Henry Ford area.
Well, I'm going to get the line popping.
Okay,
right
get
now.
the line popping.
That's what G told me to
Yeah, get the line popping.
We started the year off with Cooley every year at Henry Ford.
Okay.
To let everybody else know what it was going to be.
Okay.
It was going to be a beatdown.
Okay.
So the rival is so fierce. You know, I'm talking about Dino Dawson. You talking about the big fella.
Yeah.
You know, it's the rival. So, you know, Reggie Malone and all the fellas. It's so fierce. Marshall Taylor, who's my man. God bless you, brother. You do phenomenal things.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And Terrence Mann, the big fella, you know, I just hollered at him when I was in Dallas. And, you know, we all cut from the same carpet. But I'm going to tell you something is that the experience is forever lasting, and I was told that no matter how much fun and championships you win in college and go on and make money and be rich and get rings, you never ever forget what you done in high school.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I got it poured in my hand to the fullest and had to change not only my whole demeanor, I had to grow up and mature and be a leader, and became a captain right away because some people saw some things in me
Okay.
that I didn't even see myself.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had a hard-working dad that done construction, so he was like, you know, fuck Joe Hoskins. If that den ain't vacuumed and that garbage ain't taken out and that grass ain't cut, you can tell him you won't be there.
Yeah.
The deal is do what you told, son.
Okay.
Nobody never gave me nothing.
Okay.
So he didn't care. Even though I was on the front of the sports page every week,
There you go.
he read the paper from front to back.
But Bernard Hall was just Bernard Hall at the house.
Bernard at the house.
At the
Okay,
house,
it's just Bernard at the house.
That's right, son. Do what you're supposed to do.
There you go.
When you getting the beat down.
Yes, sir.
You understand? You know, so.
But I think though, tell them, because you got to tell a story. When you came out, and I'm talking about, because nowadays, you know, they have all these different polls and stuff like that. Where were you ranked at in terms of the nation, or I know in Michigan you was
Well, the BMW, I think for us in the city,
Okay, what was it
obviously
called?
Lowe's, BMW, best of the Midwest.
Okay.
You know, that's the top guys. You talking about Chicago and all these other cities.
Absolutely. And
Nardi, you were where as far as BMW goes?
I was like number 1, 2 in the country.
He was number 2. I remember they had John Miller. I remember they had John Miller. Now, I can tell you what I remember.
No doubt.
They had John Miller, right?
No
Went to
doubt.
Michigan State.
Oh, man.
Played at Farmington Hills Harrison, was it?
Yeah.
I'm a Spartan. No competition.
So, all right, no comment, but go ahead.
competition.
Go ahead, Nardi.
You know, and
No
when
competition.
G said that, and that it makes a great point because I watched Bo Schembechler and George Perlis. Both of them played at home on a Saturday, and I watched them up at Farmington Harrison flying helicopters to come watch John Miller play, and had him ranked ahead. And then when I became a senior, I was the guy and did not get the same treatment. So anybody who think that you know, the ground is even or it's fair or whatever, ain't none of that.
Okay.
Stop. You know, just stop fooling yourself.
Okay.
No, it's no good.
Okay.
You know, you better step up and show out. You had to do that. That's what we had to do. And what people don't understand is you earned everything you got back then. Now all of this stuff is built on what it looked like it could be.
Yeah.
There you go. Gotcha.
It was ambulances, 2 or 3 of them at all our games.
Oh, yeah, no, they had to have an ambulance at y'all game.
Hitting going on. See,
ain't no
need
question.
some flags now.
So
There was
listen.
hitting going on in our game.
So listen, it's funny because I remember a hit you put on a guy at Cooley one time, and it was quite ugly. But we gonna move on. But listen, everybody who listen out there to State Champions Podcast, make sure you tap in, call in, because if you got some questions for the big homies, some Detroit legends in terms of football, you got a son that's out there listening. Parents, y'all gonna have to listen to this story because it's gonna help you in the future. You may think that you have a superstar, but these dudes here, these dudes were the real deal.
Right.
So if your kid is even close to that, this y'all need to listen up. So make sure y'all tune in. Tap into that State Champions Podcast on YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
And also dial that number.
Dial that number.
Give us, it don't
what's
have
that
to be
number?
a question for these guys. If you got a statement,
Right.
313.
Please tap in.
Please
because
tap in.
We about to tell some stuff that nobody know.
Wow.
I can speak myself, or Carlos, we ain't never been on no TV show, and trust me, I've been offered book deals. I'm on a TV show. I'll give you this and I'll give you that. And I don't talk to many people. All of the years, I may have talked to one of our other partners, maybe on a podcast, and that's it. I don't talk about it because the hurt is so dwelling, and forgive yourself is so deeper than anything you can do. I'm talking about Gandhi deep. You're talking about, my man from the nation deep. Yeah. You're talking about our people, what all our religions are. It's that deep. Baptist, whatever it is, it's that deep.
My man.
So, kicking it back on, this, out to Paris McCurdy and the other big fella,
Kirk Kidd. Oh, Kirk Kidd. There you go. Kirk Kidd.
Kirk Kidd. Peterson Park.
They both was on the D-ends for some of them games. So,
Man, there you go. 313-314. Hey, P. Mac, if you want to call in, it's 313-314-8880. That's 313-314-8880.
And it's so fun because we so blessed to be here in the age that we are, man.
Yes.
And the perspective that you've gotten over the years and that I've gotten, and I know about Carlos. Me and Carlos, people don't know how this even came together. We tied at the hips. And we come up, he gonna give me a whole lot of homage, but it was a lot of people did it for me, man. And I had two older brothers, and then the village at the park raised us, man, and in the neighborhood it raised us, because my father told him, if he do something wrong, whoop his ass, and then call me when he get home, he gonna get his ass whooped. So it wasn't no disrespecting nobody, not the neighbors, nobody. So you had people that looked over you. But coming out, especially my year in 1986, was very unique, and I was so heralded that I had to mature, act a certain way, because you always being watched.
Oh, absolutely.
It's beneficial, but it also gives you perspective and some things that you didn't even want to deal with, you had to deal with. So I learned that through the grace of God, when he helped you to make a whole lot of good decisions, you can't cry about the bad ones, because you're defying his grace on all of the good decisions that you made. I didn't cry about them, so the ones that went bad, I can't cry about them.
There you go.
You got to suck it up within yourself and move on. And I always been taught it ain't over till you win.
There you go. So listen, so we going to go to my man Carlos Marino, Detroit Central's finest. So Carlos, coming out, what year did you come out of high school, out of Central?
Yeah, we graduated from Central in 87.
87. Yep. So tell the people.
Hold on first.
Okay.
I'm going to make all the Central guys mad now. And I'm going to tell them to
call in, fellas. Help me out.
Because he was supposed to be a Trojan.
Yeah,
y'all made my man not be my friend for some years. You understand? So now I'm going to be quiet.
Okay. There you go. Go ahead, Lo. Tell us, in terms of your coming out of high school, your career, what position did you play?
So I played the linebacker and tight end at Central. My junior year, it was really a focus at linebacker. My second year, really a focus at tight end.
Okay.
Ended up making first team in both of them.
Okay.
My junior year, first team, All-State and linebacker. My senior year, first team All-State.
Okay.
Tight end.
Okay, so
no doubt.
Who was your high school coach?
My high school coach was the great, legendary, God rest his soul, Woody Thomas.
Woody. Oh, Woody.
Oh, yeah. Woody.
So when you came out, see just the stories and hearing different things about Carlos Marino, he going up the state.
Yeah.
Give us a perspective on, and don't be bashful on this, because I'm going to keep it one. How good were you when you came out? I know that's a tough question, but how good were you? Because we know, but a lot of people forget, and I think these stories need to be told, because they have to hear the perspective and understand that y'all guys we talking about, see, there's a lot of athletes that come out of the city of Detroit, but y'all was elite. Right. See, y'all was on that path where dudes was like, in 4 years,
he's going to the league.
They're going to the NFL. So tell us, in your eyes, when did you know you were that good in terms of the recruiting part of it?
Yeah.
Wow. Now that's a great question.
Okay.
And I always ask people that. As a matter of fact, I wanted to ask Bernard that. I was thinking about that on the ride over here. Like, what did you know when you was like deal.
The guy.
So my story, you know, I was at Central High School. I was supposed to go to Henry Ford to play with Bernard and Train and the great Yancey brothers and all the great athletes over there. Ended up at Central High School. But I think it was my sophomore year going into junior year. I was at the Michigan camp, Michigan football camp. And I was just telling Bernard, those guys.
They got to hear this.
That was like a top camp in the entire country. And I was at Central High School, just leaving Lutheran West, transferring to Central High School. And I was up at the Michigan camp by myself, alone, with my Central helmet, walking to go do some drills. And I hear sound like a freight train. It sounded like a real freight train. The tsunami was coming. And I look up and it's a bunch of yellow t-shirts with brown writing on it. Probably 25, 30 guys. Led by Bernard, who I knew well from Little League, who was my big brother. And it was Henry Ford football team. Basically ran the Michigan camp, the top camp in the country at that time. I used to be one of those guys, although I knew Bernard well, I was one of those guys on the outside looking in when Henry Ford came on the field or in the gym.
Watching.
You was looking at some dudes, and in your mind, these dudes those are guys.
The aura.
They are elite athletes and where you want to be. So my bar was always Bernard. My bar.
Nah, come on, man. Nah, so to keep your thoughts, because I want to say this. See, I think that is truly a part of what the State Champions podcast is about. It's always a celebration. Now, you just gave a dude from Henry Ford all the credit. You just said that that was the bar. And nowadays, this is not what we get.
Anybody in Detroit saying anything different, y'all,
They lying. So
I said, he can't say it, but I say it.
Oh, my man. So let's so what we gonna do a toast to do a toast. What it's gonna be to? What you
bar.
Well, you know what bar?
Yeah, because whatever bar it is, whatever level it is.
No, whatever the bar is.
Okay. If it's working with your kid, if it's giving homage, giving flowers to another brother.
Oh man, what you talking about?
Whatever your bar is, because now everybody out in YouTube land can understand.
Well, let me.
Well, y'all keep talking. What you drinking? I'm gonna get you your drink going.
Drink some whites.
Somebody calling in.
Wait, we got somebody calling in. Hold on one second. We got a call. We got a caller. We're calling you on the air. Who are we speaking to?
Carl Taylor.
Carl Taylor. Oh man,
Dr. Taylor.
Dr. T.
What's going on, Dr. T? You got a question or a statement for the fellas? Just want to make a comment?
No. Yeah, I just want to make a comment. All of you doing a great job. And Carlos goes way back with me as a trailblazer. Those who don't know, I went to Detroit Central. I went to Detroit Central with Coach's parents. Very proud of both of these brothers.
Wow.
It takes a great man to step forth. And I mean that. It takes a great man to step forth and give lessons to the youngest. I just wanted to holler, Carlos.
Coming from you, Doc.
In my living room, Carlos, giving you that suit that I wore when I was Tommy Hearn's bodyguard. That suit. You remember that suit I gave you?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah. So all of you cats are legends, man. You're throwing it up. You got nothing but my love. And I don't call often. You're doing it. That's
Dr.
all.
T,
Just pass it on.
appreciate you.
Hey, Doc, we appreciate
Love all
you
you,
so much.
Man, we love you. You're a legend. You get, again, 5 seconds worth. I'll tell you, I don't think our callers, if they're not in that Lansing area, if they haven't been a Spartan, they don't understand your magnitude and what you've done for this area. So again, it's just a blessing for you to call in and pay homage to us. So we love you. We appreciate you. And without guys like you, we wouldn't be doing this. I promise you. Thank you so much. You paved the way.
Bernard, big fan of yours back in the day.
Yes, sir.
Carlos, all y'all, man. Woody, everybody.
No doubt.
So peace. Keep it up. I'm gone.
All right,
Doc. Appreciate you.
Bless you, bro.
Thank you, Doc.
Wow.
Man, see, that's the thing. See, y'all talking to some guys and people are listening in. They don't even really understand the history. and that's part of it. And being from East Lansing, and this particular gentleman who called in, because to be honest, I don't know who that is.
Oh, listen, he's gonna be on the show. He already told you he coming on the show.
Oh man,
Man,
Listen,
you got some guys.
now you got
they got a legendary alumni.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's the guy. Yeah,
Nancy Mason the third.
Wow, he's the guy.
Dr. Taylor.
He has put so many helped so many young people.
Span went to Central.
Wow.
Man, they got a they all went to Central. They got a legendary alumni that they still keep alive right now.
Well, I think I want to, as Ralph grabbing everything, I think my toast for us to be able to say that all of us are now north of 50.
No doubt.
To be able to say that we're north of 50.
That's a blessing.
And each of us to grow up in the height of the dope era, in the pocket. We were all in the pocket on the west side of Detroit. Very, very close to each other. But obviously the athletic excellence is the combination, is the glue. But as black men, I will say this, for guys to fall down and not get up, but jump up.
You did.
So again, we've all fallen before, right?
Oh, no doubt.
So the lessons in this, me and Ralph always talk about, this is a celebration. Mm-hmm. So again, we celebrate our brotherhood and our friendship to one another and the love and all of that. But at the forefront of this thing is y'all willingness to come talk about something very sensitive, to come talk about something that's going to be beneficial to someone else's life, says everything about you. So you were legends on the field, but you're legendary people.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And that's bigger than anything. Mm-hmm. We've had a lot of legends come out of this city, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
But they ain't legendary people.
That's
You guys are legendary people. And if you look at it, our time here on earth, you were athletes for a short period of time. You're men much longer. So again, we salute you, man. We proud of you.
No doubt.
Hey, man. God
Salute, fellas.
Man,
Salute.
all praise due.
No doubt.
All praise due. Man, love.
No doubt, bro.
So,
watch this.
So now what has happened is this. Now, we think about it. B. Hall, you left Henry Ford. I mean, I just think about the Henry Ford story. They just too many to tell.
Yeah.
But you was about to tell a story. Mm-hmm. Tell the story about, you were talking about this when you first came in, and just you and Carlos. Man, the love that I saw, I'm like, man, we in the driveway. I'm like, hold on, don't tell this story.
Right.
Wait for on air, and it's so genuine. Tell the story and what you was talking about in terms of when you saw him, because you was like, man, I hadn't talked to him in a minute, but.
Yeah, that's my man. We, we tied at the hips like Pirates of the Caribbean. You know?
Okay.
Right. And I want to tell all these young fellas before I start this that you got to understand, man, once you learn, and it take you a while and you have to live some life. My father told me, he said, the best lesson in life you go ever get is a ball lesson. Mm-hmm. Mine was a $20 million lesson.
Okay.
So when you got to wake up every day and look in the mirror and not quit,
yes, sir,
and still got to get it done, and then you mature and you grow up, and now you're a man. Because see, for all of the ladies go like this, you got to be a man before you become a gentleman.
Dang.
And some of us miss on both counts. Right.
Okay.
You gotta mature and grow to understand that. These young fellas now, man, they got death blinking on their forehead and don't even see it.
Yes, sir.
And, it's sad. And, I just was talking to a young lady last night, too. I ain't going to get too far off base. And I said, you got to be a lady before you become a woman.
That's right.
And some of y'all miss on both counts. Mm-hmm. So nobody got no room to judge nobody. But this deal with me and Carlos was so phenomenal. It's funny, Ralph brought that up, man. I was almost in tears, bro, because we came up, man.
He was in tears, man. He was in tears. Take your glasses off.
We came up, man, with people who didn't play.
Yes, sir.
And they made us learn to play the right way, or you wasn't playing. And I'm talking about back in the day when it was the city had the athletic department, and it was workers up at the park.
Oh yeah,
and had the leagues going, and the football team, the real PAL, and the real American Football League,
go to other parks and
play their team, right. The for real thing. So the grown-ups at the park would tell you, get away from that dice game, but you ain't got no business over there where that's going on there. Go over there and practice or play. Uh-huh. And then when you come to the real court to play basketball, they tell you, you call a game, they say, no, you ain't got no game. You still in the CBA, man. You got to get your stuff together. Or you go over there to the football thing and they say, oh, no, you down here on this level until you get up there. But through the grace of God, we had some phenomenal coaches. I got lucky.
Okay.
You know, Ralph and Gino and everybody know, Los know. Man, I never played on a team that lost more than one game in a season until I started playing pro ball.
Wow. That's crazy.
Ain't too many people I'm talking about from Little League all the way up, you know.
That's sick.
And, you know, just about got a championship on every level. You know, Mother Nature has protected me. God has protected me. But my biggest thing was my mom and dad and my family and people that was genuine friends, because you got levels. You got the people who wish you all the riches and luck in the world, and then you got the people who wish you all the worst, and then you got the people who stay neutral. This city right here, you got the people who stay neutral. One of the two, the people who stay neutral or the ones that's haters.
Oh, gonna hate you to the end of time.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But everybody want to be a part of greatness.
Ain't no question.
Indeed.
So, you know, we always had a thing that those who stay will be champs. But getting to the story, me and Carlos, man, we met when we was young fellas. I was a year or two older than Carlos, but he came to play, and that's all I knew was embrace. So, I mean, the guys, if I name all of the guys, man, that became All-American or went to the NFL that played us and that one of us helped or we helped each other in some kind of way.
There you go.
It's so phenomenal that...
You be talking all day, though.
Yes, and that things, and it should all of the Little League fields and everything at the park should be stadiums. That's how many guys it is, man, and how many people. But...
That's profound.
What do you mean?
Hold on, wait
a minute. Hold on, Los. What's your translation on that? Because you said something to me and Rap talked about the other day as far as AAU basketball and giving back.
Yep.
What's your translation? Build on what Nardi just said, man. Don't let nobody off the hook. We ain't got to be specific on no names, but what does he mean by that?
I mean, it's right there, fellas. It's so much talent that come out this city. There's no reason why it shouldn't be stadiums at these PAL fields.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Real basketball facilities at these other facilities where kids go and play.
You know,
it's amazing what you just said, man. I'm thrown back.
Yeah, because see, Robert Jameson, who's the head guy over at PAL, he's our guy. He come up at Peterson Park and all that with us. He went to DePorres with David Greenwood and them, and they won championships.
Yeah, you go.
So you got some guys at the helm, but they should not have to be, man, begging for money or sending companies letters begging for sponsorship, man. That's no good, bro.
No,
you know
no. So,
I mean?
So that's it.
And for them to have some staff, they can't hire nobody because they got to have somebody donate so they can pay you.
Oh, no.
Everybody wants top-notch billing, but they want to pay you Woodrow the wine on money.
Yeah.
See, everybody asks me, Nara, why you don't coach? I say, I go and speak to the kids and all my boys that coach, I come and help out. Right. But I have kids in the family myself. I can't say, for the way that I was learning, I was lucky. I always had great coaching.
Okay.
So I only know how to do it right. So the time that it take to do it right, y'all had a coach like that.
Yes, sir.
No, ain't no question.
Spend a lot of his own money.
Yes, sir.
I come up under the great Joe Hoskins, who was rich.
Okay.
And he'll pull that checkbook out in a minute and say, I'll buy this. We don't need your money. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to figure out how to make some money.
Yeah.
He said, but my boy's going to be taken care of. We don't need y'all.
And see, let me tap on that. See, people don't understand Joe Hoskins. And from what I understand in this, we talked about this, having these PSL stories come out because from what I understand, they force y'all coach out Joe Hoskins out.
Oh, yeah.
They forced him out. And I'm going to tell y'all.
being retribution later, but the damage was done.
The damage was done. Now, let me just say this. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up, because when you force a guy out who's doing great things with young black men, it is a freaking travesty. So then you move forward. They did it at Henry Ford to Hoskins, and I didn't realize it. And then until years later, then they did the same thing to Kelso, and they forced him out. Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, if we're here to help, and if you have real black men that's there to help, why are you forcing them out? So that's just one of the things I want to throw in there. But real quick, Nardi, in your prime, what's your height and your ideal weight in your prime? What was it?
Wow. My prime and my ideal weight. First year I come back from Oklahoma. When I first went to Oklahoma, I was about probably 215, 220, running about 4 or 5 something. But when I came back after my first year, everybody thought I was on steroid because I had no body fat. I was 6'3", I was like 225, and I ran a 4.4.
Wow.
So I was, a machine in there.
No, he was a freak of nature.
I was a freak
With an attitude.
No embellishment.
I kick off return, punt return. Matter of fact, the year Tim Brown won the Heisman, I was number 2 in the country, kick off returning and punt returning.
Wow.
I told them at Oklahoma, whatever position you put me at, I'm on it. I played fullback, halfback, tight end.
The whole thing.
We remember.
I told Coach Switzer, I'm one of your top 3, if not top 5.
Okay.
And I was there at the same time. I played with Holloway, Charles Thompson. I played with Brian Bosworth. Keith Jackson is my man.
No, I saw it. When I looked at that, I was like, the
Dante
Bos.
Jones.
I looked at all those
I played with
names.
some guys that was the truth, and even there, I got some rings, all of that stuff. You got to decide who you want to be. You either got self-esteem or you got stuff-esteem.
It's funny.
Hold on. Wait, real quick. Say that again.
You either have self-esteem or you have stuff-esteem. So they get a lot of our kids here in this state of Michigan got caught up because they saw the guy, YBI, Pony Down, the guys that was hustling and pimping and all of that. And they got up and, you had I'm talking about a plethora of guys that just stopped playing. I done heard the coach tell him, son, you wearing too many hats. You don't want to play.
You don't want to be no player no more?
Real talk.
Yeah.
You got a serious coach like Woody Thomas.
Yeah.
And you got a coach like Ben Kelso.
Yeah.
And you got a coach like Joe Hoskins.
Yeah.
They already been there. They tell you they doing too much.
Yeah.
And y'all can attest to this story. See, I got to be coached by Coach Kelso in basketball before he came up.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And me and him put the gloves on. That's how serious it was.
Yeah.
If you talk, no doubt, toast to that. That's how serious it was.
Nobody
right.
Now,
That's something that nobody don't know. If you had an
I'll
issue
whoop
with
your
it,
ass now.
we can go put the gloves on, and then we gonna get right back on this blacktop.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
He would think you was scared of whatever. So we got it in.
Yeah.
Stuck in there.
Yeah.
And then I made sure after I graduated high school and went to college and played ball and came back. He still was playing ball, and every time I saw him, I made sure I gave it to him.
Yes,
to
sir.
let you know, Coach, I'm the real deal.
Yes, sir.
You understand? I don't just play football. I hoop.
You do both. You do
You
both. No
understand?
doubt about that.
I ain't gonna, he a legend. I ain't gonna knock him down.
Yeah, no question.
He had his son starting on for me.
Yeah.
You understand? He was like, you already got a scholarship. I said, but Coach, you want me to sit on the bench? That's no good.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I want to ask this, Los. I want to hear this because Nardi just touched on something. And this has been dear to my heart for years. We have too many loopholes as far as our children. Now our children can go somewhere where they're not going to be held as accountable as they would be elsewhere. See, you just talked about Joe Hoskins, a tyrant. Woody, growl. Yeah. That's what you saw. I remember watching Woody. Coach track, everything, right?
Another father.
What do you think the impact of us not having strong men, how has that affected us? Because now, again, we're going to touch on this. Y'all have 2 sons, obviously different age groups. One is a Heisman candidate. But how do you think that has affected the city?
I hate to do this again, but we got to toast to a Heisman candidate, man. You serious?
No question.
Ooh.
Everybody loves
Brees Hall.
Brees Hall. Brees to Brees.
Come on, Iowa State University.
He the other part of the hallway.
Yeah. There you go.
Don't get in the hallway.
Yeah,
You did.
there you go.
No doubt.
Yeah, Los, what's your take?
Yeah, Los, touch that, bro.
We had men, Los. Vic Adams, your family.
It's devastating. So I was afraid of Woody Thomas.
Should be.
You was afraid of Kelso.
Should be.
I'm sure you was afraid of Coach Hoskins.
There you go.
Turn into another person.
When you have that fear there, it's the fear, but it's respect.
Yes, respect.
Yes, sir.
Where Woody, he was another father to me. It's just plain and simple.
Stop right there though. But Los had a phenomenal father.
That's right.
Ain't no question.
My man, Kel, he done everything and he kept us doing. We used to, No, I still remember it. It had me in tears, bro. It's so powerful. I gotta suck it up. Cause, bro, we used to collect change, bro, and get all our change. And he made sure that we knew you gotta pay your way. And he let us count up $50, $60, $70 worth of change. I'm talking about pennies, quarters, dimes, and nickels until we got it all. And if you wanted them Nike Airs, you had to pay for them. So, right there on Greenfield and 7 Mile next to the barbershop. The barbershop's still there.
Responsibility, though. That's part of the responsibility. That's part of becoming a young man in the manhood. And your question is excellent because it's been tragic what's happening with the lack of black male support.
There you go.
In neighborhoods.
There you go.
A lot of times we think about our coaches, but it has to go past the coaches now. It got to be the regular brothers on the street cutting grass, encouraging, young men out here.
So let me add this, and to your point, see, I remember coming up and the encouragement, we couldn't go around certain dudes. We couldn't go around the dope boys. They like, nah, we're going to give you some cash. You got to keep it moving. So to your point, you have to have that whole village. Nardi said this earlier, that village is very, very critical. But I got to ask this question. In your prime, ideal weight and your ideal weight in your prime, and what did you run in the 40?
Ideal weight, height, it had to be my second year MSU.
Yep, sophomore year.
A lot of people don't know, my mom would let me come back to the city of Detroit during the summertime just because on the strength. I snuck back down here sometime to hang out with my cousin Darren, God rest his soul.
God rest his soul, my god brother.
With a lot of the other brothers and stuff. But my mother said, you need to graduate. So that means you're going to stay at Michigan State during the summertime.
Okay.
And take classes.
Okay.
Get your little job, because you can't have a job during the
season.
Year. You say you about $1,000, $1,500 during the summertime. You're the man for the school year, at least for the first semester. I came home one summer, it's my second year. I was a redshirt freshman, and 6'4", I was about a good, solid 245. Now, I sounded like B Hard, y'all. Now, we ain't going to get it twisted, but a good, solid 245.
Okay.
I probably ran a 4.65, but I felt like I could conquer the world.
Wow.
My mind was together, my body was together, and I felt like, okay, this is what it's about right here and stuff. And, everything was together and stuff. You're going to school, you're doing well in school.
Yeah.
You're training well. Like I said, your mind is
yes, sir.
It's going well, you focus and stuff. That's optimal performance right there. And that's what all the brothers out here, all the athletes, to aspire to. Because when you get that feeling, it's just a natural high. You just like, I can conquer the world.
Okay.
I was probably benching, I don't know, 425, feeling myself. You know what I mean? Squatting about, almost 600. Feeling myself. I don't know your numbers, B. I'm going to put mine out before yours because I'm going to play.
But before he put his numbers out, I definitely got to ask this question. So, obviously, you went on to MSU. You was up there, you doing your thing. And I think it is important for the young people to hear the story of what happened because everybody has those barriers, those ups and peaks and valleys. If you don't mind sharing your story, because there's some young people and a parent that's out there that's listening and they're thinking, who are these guys and what are they talking about? And why are their stories so important? And it's because you have two great young people who came up in the city of Detroit, all Americans, destined, in my opinion, I'm sure in a lot of other
millionaires.
Areas, they were going to be millionaires going to the NFL. And then it was this pitfall. Can you tell the people what happened in your situation just a little bit so they can get a perspective on it?
Well, when I went up to Michigan State, I was top recruit going up there. I was All-American. First year, things going great. Second year, we went to Rose Bowl, Gator Bowl, Aloha Bowl, Sun Bowl. And my last year at MSU, when I just said I started feeling myself, you start feeling yourself a little too much.
Gotcha.
I was grounded well. Great foundation.
See, okay, don't. So you saying you had a great foundation.
Great foundation.
And the people was in your life.
Great.
But You was feeling yourself as a young man and
based on decisions, allow people, negative influences to come in my life just a little bit. People that make it seem like things are better on this side with smoke and mirrors and stuff like that.
Okay.
When you think about it,
okay.
you're a young black brother.
There you go.
You got about 10 credits to graduate with a bachelor's from Michigan State. You playing ball. Everything is going well.
NFL looking.
NFL is looking. They start to knock on the door. They want to talk to your girlfriend now. What's his character like? And things like that. Okay. And we get caught up with our decisions. And that's why I'm here today, to make sure that these young brothers that's listening tonight, these parents that's listening tonight, these coaches that's listening tonight, you know, keep a hold on those young brothers. Because a lot of times, what you think may be going on is not what's going on. My story was, I'm doing great at MSU. And I had a buddy of mine who I really thought was a buddy. Was a good friend of mine. Yeah. He was hustling a little bit. I wasn't hustling. Everything I had, MSU gave it to me. My clothes, my shoes, my books, my housing, everything. And, you know, sometimes that's not enough when you're walking around, you big man on campus. And at that time, Bernard, I don't know about you in Oklahoma, but I couldn't even get in the happy hour at Michigan State.
Wow.
I would go to the bookstore and see my jersey, number 89, when I was at MSU playing.
Wow.
And I couldn't get $5 to go to happy hour to hang out with some friends.
Wow.
You know, and I got this other guy that I know who's making
some money. Doing his thing.
Gonna be able to help you out.
He got that bag.
Right.
He got the bag, no question.
He got the bag. We'll say that he got the bag. And you know, when I look back on it, it was just, it was immaturity.
There you go.
I was not really understanding what I had.
There you go. Your value
in front of you.
There you go.
1 year away from me. 365 days away from me.
Ooh.
And one night I got a ride to Michigan State, and we got pulled over for speed. I was in the back seat, and we got pulled over for speed. And unbeknownst to me, it was drugs in the car. It was crack cocaine in the car. Probably about a half a kid crack cocaine.
Wow.
Since we being
keep it 100. It's Detroit. They know what it is.
They know what it is.
Because I want these parents to really know and understand this stuff.
Come on, Los.
Because again, I've never been in trouble before in my life. My life until this incident. I've never been in trouble before in my life after this incident. So it goes to show you we had hiccups.
There you go. There you go.
Hiccups. And it's for the parents out there, the mentors, the coaches, the community leaders, the family members, everybody else. Make sure that you in tune with those young people out there, because on the outside looking in, I look like I had it great. I was broker than a joke.
Wow.
After 4 years of asking my mom for money, making me spaghetti trays.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because football player,
I started asking this guy, another guy, you know, look out for me, money.
Yeah.
Started from that to driving the car to doing, you know, other things and stuff. And one night I got caught up. We were driving up to Lansing. A girl was speeding, got pulled over. And I don't know the streets like that. I know football.
Yeah, you football player.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm a student athlete. I'm
there you go.
I'm perpetrating.
Yeah.
As a street guy.
There you go.
That's not my game. My game is football.
But see, what you're talking about is what these kids do nowadays. They one thing, but they got to get this image. They going to be at this pride. But go ahead.
And we got pulled over. Don't nobody know nothing. The girl's in the car crying, and the guy in the front seat, he bailed and run. He gone. So I'm sitting there, and this cop looking at me like,
this got to be yours.
It's your half a key.
Yeah.
Rocks. Like, no, it ain't. But because I grew up from the neighborhood, you can't say a word.
No, that's there you go.
You better not say nothing.
There you go.
You're gonna keep it 100. You better not say nothing.
There you go.
Again, never been in trouble before. First time offender.
Yeah.
Make a long story short, I had a jury trial for these drugs that weren't mine, and I got found guilty. And the judge, instead of departing from the mandatory minimum,
Absolutely.
I've been in trouble before, about to graduate, about 10 credits. She decided that she had no
Mercy.
mercy.
She gonna make an example of
She
you.
had no problem, and she even told me to my face that although I had all the great things going on for me, all these letters from coaches at MSU, I was working with kids at the time, reading to them and everything. All these professors from MSU, all these students from MSU wrote letters for me on my character, on my behalf.
There ain't no question.
The room was packed. She said, well, all that considered, you chose to be with people and do negative things. I don't think you can be rehabilitated one.
Wow.
She told me that had never been in trouble before. And just to make sure that she knows she was totally wrong, never been in trouble since.
But let me just stop you right there, because see what you're talking about, and in the words of Kwame Kilpatrick, a setback is nothing but a setup for a comeback.
That's all
And
it
we
is.
gonna talk about your redemption part of that, because I got to go to B Hall.
Got to go to B Hall.
Because, you know, we young guys. B Hall, go ahead, fire the cigar up. Now, B Hall,
Yeah, man.
you lead Detroit Henry Ford,
Yes,
Oklahoma Sooners.
that's right.
I'm
with
talking
Joe
about,
Hoskins on
y'all,
TV.
listen, see, one thing, it was that, did they call it the wishbone?
No, it's the wishbone.
The wishbone. I was
right.
like, what the heck
And it
is
was
they
a-
running?
It was a certain aura, though, about Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
See, you got to think about this now. It's one thing, Michigan, and we love Bo Schembechler, George Perlis, defensive coordinator at Pittsburgh Steelers and all of that. But let's go down the list and see how many times a dude really was heavily recruited by the University of Oklahoma or USC.
Go ahead.
We
go
want
ahead.
you.
This
We want
your
you.
show, baby.
Because people, I love to give people their flowers while they're here. And I got to give my big brother Bernard his flowers while he's here. And a lot of you know his prowess. He ran the ball, this, that, and the other. It was nobody like B Hall.
No, sir.
Not only in
nobody.
the city of Detroit, but the state.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I had a front row seat. I was there.
He was sick.
Okay. I was at the camps. I was at the practices, the Reggie McKenzie camps.
Oh, yeah.
All that stuff. All those brothers poured into us. If it was Dr. Carl Taylor, if it was Reggie McKenzie, if it was Coach Hoskins, Woody, all those brothers poured into us. It was almost like a phenomenon
Yeah.
when Bernard came around.
All right, no question.
no,
he the LeBron James of
that's
he's LeBron James of football. Ain't no two ways about it.
And just to make it clear, Oklahoma didn't recruit nobody
Thank you.
from this city.
That's what I want to
From the
hear.
research that I did, that me and my father did, Baxter Marino, shout out to Dad, my man.
Yeah, that's my guy.
So, Pop.
Right, Pop.
So, Pop.
It was 10, 15 years. No, but they didn't come to
They ain't come
the
here.
city of Detroit.
No, for what?
But they came for
B Hall.
B Hall on 7 Mile and Evergreen.
Come on, man.
Trojan and Evergreen.
Trojan
Yes,
and
sir.
Evergreen.
Okay.
Be real
See him.
specific.
And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to turn it back over to
No,
you.
you good. It's your show.
On one of my recruiting trips, B Hall, I went to USC. And I was in the layover in Dallas.
That's right.
Sitting down, and Coach Barry Switzer walked up. I know I never told you this.
No, you ain't never told me
In
this.
30 years, he walked up.
It's deep, Q.
He don't recognize me, but I recognize him. And I said, hey, Coach, how you doing? Introduced myself to him. I'm just coming back from a visit from USC, but my big brother paid for you.
Yeah.
Who's your big brother? I said, Bernard Hall. And I said it with such pride. I came hard said, I said it with my chest. So proud of this brother, man.
That's right.
Okay, first team All-American. Didn't lose a game in the PSL for 3 years.
3 years.
Do that,
Sick.
man.
Yeah.
Stop.
Sick.
I shouldn't be at another rival school cheering him on,
Yeah.
but I was.
Secretly.
I
Your
couldn't
man.
necessarily more than
to look at the
get your
paper.
newspaper and be like, boom, first see what my name at, but then see the headline, how many he
That's
scored.
real.
Don't do
That's
that.
real.
Don't do that.
So I'm gonna give him his flowers now.
Why you can still smell them. And definitely see one thing about it, I got to say this because they saying Earl Stark say what's up, B Hall.
Yeah,
Carlos he said what's up.
What's
but
up,
B,
Earl?
but make sure, man, tell your story in your situation at Oklahoma, and
Come on.
and briefly just tell what happened from that story and what did you learn. And how can you direct some young people in a different direction? And parents, because they don't know. See, they going to believe everything their son tell them.
Right.
And when they're a superstar athlete, I ain't doing nothing. But tell them from your perspective what happened and what advice can you give to those young people and the parents in the public?
Man, first I want to thank my brother Carlos. That's why I was so excited about doing this because everybody know I really don't talk about it myself, and I can say it about Carlos. I've never been on no TV show and have been invited to several. I've never been on no really radio show or none of that stuff to talk about it because it's so deep. But man, coming out of Detroit and heralded first team parade All-American. Matter of fact, the only player that was ahead of me as far as a quarterback in the country was Jeff George.
Wow.
That's saying something.
That's sick.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Jeff George. So, I get to Oklahoma, but more powerful than that, we gonna talk about the taking care of the business on the education side.
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
And my year, 1986. Here comes something else to knock black people down. They come up with Proposition 48.
Look at that.
48.
See, we talked about this on the show last week.
Now, Carlos said earlier how he came over and I had my mother and father, whole living room and dining room was full of, I'm talking about from Hawaii all the way across to North Dakota, everybody recruited me. So I keep getting a 16 or a 17 on that SAT and need an ACT and need an 18. And then on the SAT, I keep getting 1550 and need 1700. So now I'm Proposition 48. So Miami, USC, UCLA, all these schools, a lot of them start backing up. You know what I mean? Syracuse, I had the great Jim Brown call me.
Dang.
When I went
Billy Sims came to a game.
Yeah, Billy Sims, was at our game.
So
Billy Sims came to a game.
think about that.
You talking about the Lion Great you talking about Billy Sims, Billy Sims.
Yes,
you ain't talking about a dude off the east side. Billy Sims. You
Yes,
talking about Billy Sims.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
When I go to Michigan, when I go up to Michigan State for my visit that weekend, the Lakers playing Detroit on that Sunday.
You ain't gotta say it.
Out all night Saturday, and somebody knocking on my door. Boom, boom, boom. I said, man, y'all stop playing. We just got in. It's 4-something in the morning. I said, who is it? He said, Magic. I said, man, y'all better quit playing. I finally got up. I said, man, I'm a Magic you. I got up, man, and opened the door, and Magic Johnson was standing there.
Wow.
And he put his arms around me and hugged me like, shh. I ain't supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be locked down. But let's talk for a minute.
Come to stay.
Yeah, he said, they call me EJ the DJ up here. That's the Outer Limits is my place. He said that was my place. He said, but let me just explain something to you. He said a couple of people that's recruiting you and helping recruit you. He said if you come here, he said I can't tell you because I'm from East Lansing. He said, but if you come up here, man, you're going to be taken care of. And I already done heard and saw something on you on the type of player you are. He said, I'm going to give you some love and I'm going to leave you at that. He gave me a jersey. I still got it.
Wow. You talking about the Magic Johnson.
The Magic Johnson.
Okay, you talking
yes,
about,
sir.
okay.
Yes, sir. So when you got that type of hype and everything and I really didn't understand it because I was that young. You having a press conference and you're a high school player. You on Sports Final Edition.
Oh, you get that Sports
Hey.
Final Edition. You call.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking at this thing one night.
I don't even understand what I'm doing and what I'm saying and what I'm doing here, but it's people looking up to you and you being talked to and saying, hey, this is what you got to do and the way you got to act. But getting back to the point at hand, here comes something else to knock the black community and the black kids, you know, in America down, so we can't go nowhere.
Yes,
so
sir.
now I'm Proposition 48, and it's other people, but Oklahoma still was strong.
But hold up, D. Hall. People need to understand that stigma of Proposition 48.
Oh, yeah.
It was a stigma on campus.
Yes.
When you walked around,
Yeah.
started in the football building, and the other guys,
They played you
like you was a
He a
dumb
dummy.
You know,
Yeah.
you was
dummy.
like one of the guys on the bus.
He a dummy.
Right.
They played you like you was in the whatchamacallit class.
One of my best
real talk.
friends-
No, I understand.
Real
Trust
talk,
me.
bro.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I know a couple of guys, man, where people don't even understand that's hidden behind the scene, bro. I know a couple of guys that had a nervous breakdown.
That's right.
Because they was Proposition 48, bro, and they was down there playing them like they was illiterate.
Like you ain't even on the team.
And see, when I went to Oklahoma, and people don't want to talk about it, but I'm here amongst my brothers, and I can put it out
There
there.
you go.
And where I'm at right now as a man, I'm, you know, one a little step away from being masterclass as a man. So
There you
what I'm
go.
saying is profound. See, when I was there in Oklahoma, bro, it was culture shock. Because if it wasn't white, it wasn't right.
There you go.
And
Oh,
you
absolutely.
better not try to convince them of nothing different. They either was going to make it hard for you to get there or they was going to cross you out. So let me explain that to the parents that's listening.
Yes, sir.
Now, I won't speak at no venue unless the parents there so they can understand that when your kid graduate high school, they need you the next 6 years more than they ever needed you in their life. Even from the time when they was kissing you and you was dropping them off at kindergarten, they need you more than that.
There you go.
They need you more than that because we out there trying to make some decisions that we ain't got no business making.
That you ain't equipped for. You can't be. You can't.
You know,
Can't
it
be
don't
equipped.
matter. It don't matter what school you paid for them to go to. It don't matter what whatever classes, special classes in charm school.
Yeah.
Or you went to UD Mercy or any of that. None of that don't matter.
Yeah.
Because it can happen to anybody.
There you go.
See, it doesn't matter. Just like the big oar over the Michigan thing where they get mad at Jalen Rose for talking about how Coach Krzyzewski was at Duke. What y'all getting mad at him for? He was telling the truth.
He told the truth.
Told the
Telling
truth.
the truth. My man wasn't going to recruit none of them. It was a bunch of them better than the guys nucleus on their team.
There
There was
you
a
go.
bunch of guys on
There you go.
Michigan that was better than them that could have started on his team. So it is what it is. But back to the thing with Oklahoma, it was culture shock. Because a lot of them guys, if they didn't have, like Carlos said, the turf shoes or the gym shoes and the sweats and the shorts and T-shirts that they gave them, they really didn't have nothing. Some of them came from broken homes. Some of them was afraid to be away from home.
Okay.
They used to look at me like, wow, you from Detroit?
Yeah, yeah.
You a hell of a guy. You
from
lay
Detroit.
down here by yourself.
You from the
You a
D.
hell of-
Cause they
so-
half scared of you now.
Then it didn't, so then it didn't look good that I'm dressing every day going to class.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
7 Mile.
You know what I'm saying?
7 Mile in
So I'm
Oklahoma.
from Detroit.
You killing them.
So I already got some strikes against me. Plus, there's 2 more guys that transfer from Detroit, and they just terrorizing the place.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, man. So, you know, you always being looked at. Whatever happened, you not going to get away with nothing, guys. Young men, young ladies. Because if you play any one of the sports, the first thing they going to do is go get the program, your picture in there. And they going to say, is it one of them? That's the first thing they going to do. I work with a gentleman now, you know, through God's grace and the blessing. I work at Ford. You know, I'm a supervisor and, you know, been in quality a lot of years. And I met a gentleman, and I don't really want to put his name. He might not want to be there, but he's a, you know, 10 or 20, almost 10 to 15 years my senior. But he was like, man, I know your story. He said, but I want to tell you something. He said, I've watched you since you've been here. He said, I want to tell you, I went to Henry Ford, and you don't even know that. I said, wow. And he said, you know what college I went to and played at? I played receiver at Nebraska, University of Nebraska. He said, but you know what they told me when I first showed up down in Lincoln? They said, you go be fingerprinted in handcuffs before you leave here because you black.
Dang. Man,
So that was the same thing down there, bro. And being Proposition 48
Didn't help.
If I would have came down there and was playing right away,
It's different.
it's different because you you more structured and you on the program.
Yeah.
You got to be meetings and places like that. But when the colleges really didn't know what to do with you when you were proper. They didn't even know how to practice you. Yeah, that was the first year of it.
They didn't know what to do.
That was the first year of it.
They weren't equipped at all.
They weren't equipped for
They
it.
didn't know what to do the third year because my boy, Matt America, was #1 blue chip.
Yeah.
BMW.
From
Big Matt.
Matt
the Michigan
Listen,
State.
Matt Am.
Our roommate.
Matt
They didn't know
Am
what
kicked
to
it.
do with him, man.
Yeah.
They didn't know.
They didn't know what to do.
And Matt Am still talks about this to this day. And guess
Yeah.
what? Matt Am
love
just
you, Big Matt.
Man, he about to call in right now.
no.
He just texted.
I didn't mean to put your name out there, but I love you.
No, he just no.
Hey, dog, let me explain something to y'all. Let me explain something to y'all. Like 9/11, like COVID, like the big thing in down there in New Orleans where they wouldn't go get them people. That's how big Proposition 48 was.
And we weren't
It's
prepared.
just like,
and like all of them, we weren't prepared.
And for those who think they heavier than that, I'm gonna put it even deeper than that. I'm not even gonna say nothing about religion on it. I'm gonna leave that out of it. But it's so deep. It's just like an organization picking the wrong player. It set your franchise back 10 years. It don't matter what you try to do to shuffle it and make it right or buy or whatever you do. When you pick the wrong player, it sets your franchise back 10 years. Wow. My heart and passion, bro, I went to school for, I just knew I was going to be sitting up there like Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley.
Kicking.
Guys, because I'm a natural. You know what I mean? They could pick me up today, G, on the helicopter and dress me, and I could sit in the booth
and you can kick it.
And kick it about horse racing, car racing, whatever they want.
Bowling,
marbles, jacks,
all of it.
All that.
Yeah.
That's my
What
passion.
about hopscotch?
That's my P-knuckles.
P-knuckles.
All that. So, that's what I was going to school
Yes, sir.
for. I was doing communication with emphasis in sports broadcast, and I knew what I wanted to do, bro. And at my practice every day at Oklahoma, Dallas, Kansas City Chiefs, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Seattle, all of them, because that's all right around there in that Midwest, bro. They was there every day, and they was telling me, just do what they tell you to do, Bernard. You about to be the man.
Wow.
He said, you ain't even gonna have to look back or come back down here. A couple of guys on the team, man, I want to give a shout out to my man Keith Jackson, man. We used to sneak and go play basketball.
Tight end, Philadelphia Eagles,
and
man. First round.
We used to give it to the basketball team. My man Jay Green, who's from here. Oh my God, can do it.
So
can do it.
I never met him, but I pattern half my game.
No,
tight end,
watching
tight
him
end.
on film.
That's right.
Even when I was in college, that's when you wanted.
Yeah, people thought he was lazy, but he could go, and that's my guy. We used to do all kind of stuff. Spencer Tillman, a few of the other older guys, man. A lot of us keep in touch, and they be wondering like, nah, why you ain't coming back, man? It's over. Everybody, the coaches, everybody, because it's a heartfelt and it's so deep, bro. It's just like us men learning that our women are our queens and that they can't go through all of that stress and hurt. That's what caused ovarian cancer and breast cancer and all of that. They're not built for all of that pressure. We are the homemakers, the men are. So it's a two-way street, bruh. But that right there, that's how big Proposition 48 was.
So let me ask you this, because you just made a great point, B. Hall.
Yep.
So when you talk about this, you say what our women are not built for. But I think what has happened over the years, especially as black men, we take on so much.
Oh, yeah.
We take on so much. And going through that, see, I'm listening. You talking about a gentleman who you work with now who was in Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
And you was in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
You were doing your thing. He was doing his thing. But think about what you had to go through. Why is it that Bernard Hall,
say it again,
Carlos Marino, and all the other kids across the country who are black come out of Detroit, Philly, Chi-Town, you name, in any inner city, that we have to go through extra? We are human beings as well. Yeah. We are just trying to get to the next level. Why are we being treated as we're subpar and we're not human beings?
Because they believe in what the newspaper and the news.
There you go.
Reading the paper, bro, and the persona of what your city from Coach Switzer used to say. Hey, you know, he came here and came and hung out with my people and everything, but he didn't know, bro. I come from a middle class. Ain't
no question.
You can't send me
Talk
back.
about
You ain't
me.
gonna send me
Listen,
back.
Talk on that.
I want you to talk about your family then, and see this is what people are missing.
Yeah.
See, but Bernard Hall, there's Bernard Hall, Henry Ford, he was the guy. Then he went to Oklahoma. He got in trouble.
They think Nardi and those
them
people didn't
wasn't
have
around
nothing.
it. Tell us a little bit about your family background and that middle class family that you're speaking of.
Man, my father worked construction.
What
bro.
street was you on, Nardi?
So I grew up.
What street you live on,
I grew up
Nardi?
on Dexter and Calvert until I was 5. And then
Dexter and Calvert.
You
should have went to Central.
Then we moved over to Coral and 7 Mile.
Coral and 7 Mile.
So back in that day,
Could've
while we
been that
really
cool.
kicking it, they had the thing. I had a lot of family on the east side, and so I was over there every weekend. So they had the persona as you wasn't supposed to be friends with people over there, over by Central, whatever, because they thought they was better than you because you lived on this side of town. And then, of course, in that midsection right there from Woodward down to 75 was the Arabs and Camel Jockeys and Chaldeans or whatever they was. And,
you cold for that.
They didn't even want
them
us.
some good brothers.
They didn't even want us. I'm just calling it like it is. Back then, they didn't even want us driving through there. They were telling us you can't even cross Woodward.
Okay.
You understand? Right. So the biggest myth left in this city is the east side, west side stuff.
There you go. Absolutely.
These guys done got killed because of it, and they still are.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So
when it come down to it, G coach, you coach, Carlos mentor and speak and do everything, and so do I, bro. I watch it, and I just shake my head, bro. Y'all don't get it. Yep. It's bigger than that.
So let me go to this. So Carlos, because we definitely want to talk about. See, when G called me and was like, "Man, we got to get Carlos and B Hall on the show." We like, man, it's gonna be amazing, right? Because obviously, see, G said it best. Skip athletes, y'all was outstanding athletes, but y'all great people.
No doubt.
And so tell me, what are you doing right now today? In terms of because I like to call it, see, people say, well, no, it's not redemption, but we always in the process redeeming. Because the way they look at us now. But this is why I'm saying this, because you come in here and you said, I want to give B Hall his flowers while he can still smell them. I got to tell this quick story. I had a young player who I mentored. John Phillips, love him to this day. He called me about 8 months ago. Coach, I get it. He just going crazy. I'm like, what's going on, John? What's happened?
Right.
He say, Coach, I want to give you your flowers while you can still smell them.
That's what he said.
Now listen, man, I'm talking on the phone for 2 hours in the car, man. And to this day, when you said it, it's like, wow. And my point in saying that is because we don't give each other enough credit. So when you did that, see, you went to Central, you went to Henry Ford.
That's right.
But we are from the same neighborhood, and this one thing, and I love this about Kelso, and Kelso said this best. He said, Raphael, let me explain this to you. Once you get a head coaching job, you bet not take advantage of the kids on the other side. He said, if you could beat a team, you beat them, but don't humiliate them. He said, because if you take advantage of the kids on the other side of the street, all you got to do is get on the other side of the street, the very kids you coach, and you'll take advantage of them. And my point in saying that, as black men, we are all the same. Our kids are all the same, man. Listen, and we can't do that. So when you give them credit, I'm up in here like, wow. It just it makes me feel so good to hear you do that. And we black men.
That's it.
Listen.
Black men.
And at the end of the day,
blue and white, brown and gold, black and red. Go. But I tell this all the time, man. And obviously, me coaching now, people always say, man, you should have beat them by 40. It's always like a problem because I don't. Number one, the best time to practice is during the game, right?
No doubt.
Well, my thing is, I tell people, and I told a reporter this, and he looked at me like, dang. I said, well, if you take the clothes off of these young men, let's take the uniforms off the young men. Mm-hmm. If you didn't know these young men, who team would you say they were on? Whoa. You take the clothes off the young men. Take the uniform off.
Take them off, no doubt.
You don't know Bernard Hall. You don't know Carlos Marino. You don't know Raphael Peterson. If we come up and we got on underwear and white and undershirts, how do you know what team we on? We all on the same team. Once those 32 minutes are over.
That's right.
We all on the same team.
That's right.
For those 32 minutes, we want to beat you.
No doubt.
Yep, we got pride. We want to be Linwood. Linwood want to be Bingo.
That's just competition.
And that's probably why I love B Hall so much. A lot of people really don't know. Again, I was supposed to go to Henry Ford.
Yep.
When I didn't, I was like, hey, I'm going to Central.
You want to say?
He was like, all right, it's love.
Still your guy.
But don't see us in the playoffs.
Because we coming to get you.
Because I'm going to be to see you, dog.
That's
And I'm the same
competition.
way.
No doubt.
I got a chance to play against our other brother, Joe Blankenship. He went to Murray.
What you
Murray, I always saw Murray.
Lived on the same block as Ralph.
You my brother, I love you, Joe. But when we strapped up, it was on and popping.
But let me say this. It was on and popping, but after that, it was all love.
Love, ain't no question.
Not only he would hug my father, I would go over to Pastor Blankenship and hug him.
Now,
like,
see, let
hey,
me
what's
say
up?
this.
All that.
See, y'all talking about y'all dads, and I hear y'all talking about y'all dad. But I'm going to tell y'all who dad gave me. My dad was there. He going to give me the confidence. But who dad gave me the most confidence was Blankenship and them dads.
Oh, yeah.
He was a legend.
I know. Listen,
in my neighborhood.
You gotta think. You gotta think I grew up on. Listen, I'm gonna give y'all a real quick.
Shout
Shout out to Mr. Blankenship.
Ain't no question. What's up, Pastor?
Blankenship.
Happy belated birthday, too.
On Manor between Keeler and Midland.
And that's right.
I don't care what nobody says.
Keeler and Midland.
That block right there, I will put this starting five and the next two players against anybody in terms of basketball. We had Rufus Morton.
Yep, Big Roof.
Blank, Tony and Tion. A dude rest his soul, Bobby, who got killed.
Oh, yeah, Bobby.
But then y'all forget Anthony and Boo Boo Watson. Anthony Watson.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
It was lived on our street in that block. Anybody else?
Anthony Watson.
The Anthony Watson.
Yeah.
Carl and Cooley.
Yeah.
That should play with Roy Tarpley.
That's right.
Oh my God.
So listen,
your block.
you ain't know. Listen.
All within a 2-block radius.
No, it wasn't a 2-block radius. It's the same. No, Derek Binyard was on Apple we was on Manor.
Right
Listen,
there on Manor.
not in the 2-block radius. We are in the same block.
That's crazy.
Boo Boo, Anthony, and Rufus stayed on the other side of the street. Me and Rufus stayed on the corner house.
Right.
Tion and them stayed in the middle of the block.
In the middle of the block.
And listen to me. Now I'm telling y'all, I was
a young dog.
I was a young fella.
Yeah.
I remember going to the church parking lot and on Finkel and
When
Myers.
you say church, you mean St. Francis?
No, that's before. We
That's before
used to
St.
play
Francis.
baseball because
Yeah.
Blankenship and them dad
Blank.
always talk about baseball.
Yeah, because
So-
Joe could pitch.
Exactly. So we over there playing, and they throw me a pitch. I hit it to Myers by the Little Caesar. Yes. And Blankenship dad said,
With Myers. Let's see.
that dude right there, athlete. But what my point is, y'all talking about dads. Joe Blankenship and Tion. Think about this. Tion and Tony. When y'all think about this, that era, it was crazy. They went to Murray. Think about all these things, but think about the relationships that we have over the years. So I think if we start to say, you know what, let's grab these guys back. And I got to give a shout out to Darnell Hall. The girls over at Henry
Renaissance.
That's my man.
Think about it.
What they doing?
Let me just say this real quick.
Think about what they doing.
This. What happens if we took B. Hall, Carlos Marino, the Derek Colemans of the world, Blankenships, and we gonna say D. Hall and them, and then we'll grab a baseball guy. We grab Darnell Dickerson.
Come on.
And we put this
Don't
back
say
in
that.
the PSL.
Don't say that.
Man, we'll shut it down. But what's happening, nobody wants to bring the black man back. They want us to be quiet. They don't want us to be the people that who we are. We are who we are. Let us play and let y'all
Just
teach.
dribble and
Let us
shut up.
teach.
Dribble and shut up.
Man, we could listen. I remember thinking about how good we were in the 80s and the 90s.
No, somebody asked that on Facebook. Did you see that?
No, they some of all the we
unbelievable.
crazy. We would be crazy, but
Well, we've been taught to be selfish, Ralph.
but we got what again. You heard B. Hall and Carlos say. B. Hall said no, but he said we got to do a part 2. But they said I knew I was coming to the show when he was coming.
On Facebook now, you got to do a part 2 now.
See what I'm saying? No, I think what I'm saying. Man,
Well,
listen.
I got to get a shameless plug in
Go ahead.
for our show. Think about this now. Who could get Derek Coleman, Carlos Marino, and Bernard Hall,
Man.
and we ain't write no check for him to get on the show?
Well, we got them food upstairs. We got them cigars and some drink. You know what I'm saying? But
they making enough money. They can get their own chicken.
So we got to tap into what they're doing now because I think people need to hear that.
Yeah, they get it.
So, B-Hall, what are you doing nowadays? And how can, and this is a twofold, and you may not have the answer for the other side. I know you say you don't want to coach, but what are you doing and what can you tell young men in a family how to structure? And we talking about athletes and just men. How can you give them some pointers on what they should do when they're going on to college in that phase and what you doing first?
Yes. Well,
what you doing first?
First of all, the arm has to be around you right now. Ain't no later, or I can do this to do that. Ain't no shortcut. You're not getting no shortcut. And the parent, grandmother, grandfather, whomever it may be, aunt, uncles, or with the situations we have today. God bless a lot of people. So, brothers, sisters, you gotta keep everybody together. If it's a brother and sister, they gotta support each other, or you gonna cause a sibling rival because one gonna get jealous of the other, and they ain't gonna never be close. And once it get going too far, that's what we got now in black families, bro. Every time it's a holiday, you got
somebody mad.
And you got them trying to figure out who else they go spend the holiday with. They ain't talking about having no family gathering because they don't want to be around each other.
That's cold.
They try to go with their friends. Same way with college.
Yeah.
When I was in college down there, you had people was trying to figure out because the girls didn't want to go home because the mothers was letting the fathers molest them. So they was trying to go spend the holiday with somebody family they gonna be safe with. So it's the same thing. Just the same way like when you teaching your kid, you don't supposed to bother nobody and ain't nobody gonna bother you. It don't work that way. Every now and then you gotta tell them, when you tell them and you explain to the teacher or whoever and you tell them, after that you gotta knock their block off and I'm gonna come up to the school like you gonna get a whooping when you get home, but you ain't because they needed their ass whooped.
There you go.
See, so you gotta make an example sometime out of somebody.
Okay.
All of this bullying and all this new stuff now, you gotta have your arm in it, and you gotta be in touch with your kid, and you gotta talk to them about what's going on in their life.
Okay.
Because it's so many decisions to make that they cannot make by themselves.
There you go.
And if they have to do it by themselves, it's through the grace of God. Some come through. Quick little story. My oldest brother, he's a retired chief out of the Navy, and he has his own church in Virginia Beach. Been there a lot of years. So he used to talk to me all the time about luck and grace.
Okay.
And he was like, just like the young man called you out of the blue and talked to you.
Yes, sir.
So I was like, okay, and we real close. So I was listening and started, paying attention and doing this and reading and doing this and that. And one day I was in front of the TV and it hit me and I called him the same way. And I was like, I got it. I got it. Now I understand what it.
Man,
he said,
Go ahead. I'm listening.
He said, now you in a whole nother place as a man.
Yes, sir.
And I say it all the time. A lot of people who I'm around or when I go to the barber shop or people say, what's up? I say, man, luck is good, but grace is better. Because we wouldn't be where we are today.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's a cold statement.
Yeah.
B-Hall, it's another caller. Who we got on? Caller, what's your name?
Matt Amaker.
Matt, baby!
My man.
BMW,
Michigan State.
number one, BMW 1988. They showed your picture, man, when you was going to the prom. What's up, Matt?
Hey, man, I just want to say this is a true, beautiful thing y'all doing. I had to turn the volume down so I can just talk for a hot second. Hey, man, keep it going, man. You got all four of y'all lessons, Bernard, you was like Johnny B. Good, man.
My man.
Wait, I got you. I'm gonna cuss a little bit.
I like that.
I'm gonna say a couple of cuss words. Y'all gotta forgive me.
Man.
When you was up at Michigan camp, you would go to the bathroom there and wipe your ass. That's how much they was following you around. And I said, little poor, little fat.
I think both did it.
Little poor, little fat boy.
sitting in there, I'm like, damn, when I grow up, I want to be just like you, man.
My man.
Dog, you was the man. And Mr. Marino, you know, our history go back, big fella.
Roommate, y'all.
I seen you do some great things.
Wow.
112.
Where the players dwell.
And
You did.
I'm just glad y'all touched on not just the athletic part y'all did going through college and everything, but when the man hit y'all and made y'all sit down for a minute, you didn't lay down. Y'all got up and shining even more now. And y'all continue doing what y'all do. You hear me?
Yes.
So we need to help these young brothers and sisters.
Well, Matt, I tell you, man, I appreciate that, even for the call in. But you were a huge, integral part of my, as a returning citizen when I came home, my rehabilitation, man. I was your roommate, I was your big brother, and I watched you walk around campus as a Prop 48. I watched you be in the football building and people kind of showing you. And to see you today as a great father you are, the great husband you are, and to have a master's degree in education.
Wow.
Prop 48 to master's degree.
But let me just let me just
I tip my hat to you, brother.
let me just cut you off for 1 second. I actually passed the test. And they fucking Joe me, man.
Hey, Matt, listen. Hey, Matt, you know we appreciate you.
Motherfuckers played me, man. But I ain't had no lawyer.
Give me 1 second. And
do y'all thing. I love y'all.
my man, man.
Man, I just got shout out, man. I know you got to answer another call, but man, I just got my man Aaron Bell.
Aaron Bell, not
Aaron Bell. Hold on.
quarterback,
Not Cooley, AB.
You know that's Cooley's AB now.
You did. Yeah, ain't no question.
Man.
And then my main man, he took me in.
Who?
And he knew about me, and we talked about it before we started. But my boy Ricardo Jackson, man, that's my guy.
Man,
you talking about?
Send your son
You
the king,
talking about
Rick.
super good brother, man.
Send
I want to give him
your
a
son
shout
the
out.
king, Rick.
He calls me, and I call him, and if I ain't called him, he called to check on me. And I appreciate you, man, and love you, bro.
I feel the same way.
See what I'm saying? Listen, real quick, we got another caller. Make sure you turn down your phone so you can hear us. Who we got on the line?
You got B. Cheney, Brian Cheney.
My man, what's up, B?
Man.
Love, bro.
What up, though, big bro?
Man,
What up, though? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coming from Peterson Park. I just got to tell both of y'all, love y'all, man. I stay out y'all hair, but y'all both know, man. Y'all legends in my life. We Northwest Wolverines back in the 1980s. So to look up to these guys, you got to understand how they created so many savages out here on that football field. Nardi, Los, she was right there. Nardi, we was there. You ain't coming with the Panthers, but Los was right there.
Man, they're my boy.
Hey, man, y'all my big brothers, and I love y'all. I know y'all stories. Y'all two of the most resilient men I know. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only certified sports social worker in the state of Michigan.
That's right.
So I understand the shit that y'all been through, man. And I got nothing but love for y'all. So when I see y'all, that's why I always give y'all so much love, man. I appreciate y'all. That's it. I appreciate y'all. My sons don't know about
Thanks for
y'all.
calling in, B.
Yeah.
Hey,
Man,
No doubt, man.
this is crazy, but
Go ahead, G.
hey, B just said he used a term, and I think y'all saw me post it, resiliency. He used the term resilient. Obviously for everything that y'all been through and everything we go through as people, for that to be almost like a mosquito on your shoulder to get up and keep moving and doing what y'all doing, man, it's mad love, man. We proud of you. Los, we real quick, I want you to go first. Speak to some of these young men and young women about some of the pitfalls of what they're going to deal with in college. And again, it doesn't have to be an arrest. In our society right now, our young people are harming themselves at a greater rate than we've ever seen, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now, we're living in a society now where if a young man's girlfriend breaks up with him, it's a possibility he may try to kill her.
It's possible.
Let's talk about the resiliency that you exemplified, that Nardi has exemplified, and speak to these young people about some of the things they're going to deal with and how they got to handle it. Because y'all handle some real situations, and a lot of people don't know they could handle them, and y'all did it.
That's a great question. George, I would say my first year up at Michigan State, you have to understand, like Bernard said, it's going to be a culture shock. Although I came from what I thought was a middle class family, like Bernard.
Yep.
Like Bernard's, my mom worked at Chrysler, my dad worked at Chrysler. But it's a culture shock when you get up there. You know, you really see
What
the
real?
deficit.
That's right.
That you're at. I think that's the proper word. I would say the deficit.
Wow, that's cold right there.
Education, if it's just having worldly knowledge.
Okay.
If it's about your own greatness, you know, once you see that deficit, I think you start getting a little down on yourself. I would say going into MSU my first year, you just have to pump your brakes. Just take it easy. Try to surround yourself with good people.
Okay.
I think that's one of the great things that I did on the back end of my second half.
Gotcha. Okay.
I surrounded myself with great people. If it was friends, if it was my wife, if it was good people like Dr. Taylor or George Ward or
Don't do that.
A Cooley standout. Daryl Parker, DP.
Yes,
Don't go
DP.
with that.
Wood in the house.
Let's talk about D. Parker.
Hold on. You shouting out me too? Yeah. Because you got to realize I was on the other end of the
You part of his branch.
Yeah.
Hey, no, listen. And I accept that branch because though DP and my brother, they were thick as thieves at Cooley. My brother Sean, they were thick as thieves. Listen. Listen.
Yeah.
Daryl Parker,
Daryl Parker?
I come up under them dudes, man. Him and Harry and all those guys over there. But then you got
my baby.
Hurry up.
Man, come on, man. Go ahead. Go finish on your story. Go ahead.
So again, it's about knowing yourself. When I went through my situation, with catching the drug case, I had people right there.
Okay.
Again, Dr. Carl Taylor, and I know you called in, Doc. You was right there. You were on it. And I wasn't man enough at the time to express myself to you like I should have.
Say it now.
You gave me the tools. I was
But
right
Carl,
there.
I gotta stop. So, and then when you say that, how, and for a young man, what do you think was missing? Why you didn't? Because you said Dr. Taylor gave you the tools. Why didn't you accept those tools?
You know, I believe it was part of not understanding myself. Bernard said something really profound earlier today.
Self-esteem.
I'm gonna give him the chance to say it again because I don't want to mess it up.
Okay.
What'd you say about self-esteem?
Man, you either get caught up, man, and you have self-esteem or stuff-esteem. You got to decide who you want to be. And it's a whole lot of temptation in your face when you got partners who you know you getting ready to go to school and you being told it's gonna be some people trying to hold you here, or it's gonna be some people telling that's, you know, they getting money and driving Mercedes and wearing clothes and jewelry and they look good and they gonna tell you, yeah, okay, well you go ahead and do that, but I'm doing right now. I'm doing my thing. So they try to get you caught up in that, man. So you gotta
got worn out. That's what happened.
Yeah.
I was strong at first. I think I got worn out. And when that conversation happened with myself and Dr. Carl Taylor, and I remember like it was yesterday, Raphael.
Okay.
And he told me, he was like, you seem a little different.
Okay.
You're dressing a little different. What's going on with you?
He identified it.
He identified it as the man. I wasn't a man then. As a man. And as a black man that's seen stuff from Linwood, Tuxedo, and all the way up to Michigan State, who's been there and done that.
Wow.
And he reached out to me. I didn't say this was going on. I'm broke as hell, and my boy giving me $100, $200, and making me feel a little good about myself. And that was the part right there. That was the part right there, and what made me start mentoring, and what made me start pouring into young fellas, because I know I was right there. I was right there.
Oh, yeah,
it's right there.
It's right at the tips of your fingers.
And that's the travesty of it. I had to do 10 years in prison. And I want people to understand that people, parents, again, coaches out there, the young fellas, I got locked up April 27th, 1992. I didn't get I probably had one incident. So basically, no problems in prison. I got locked up April 27, 1992. I got out April 27, 2002.
No way.
They wouldn't give me a day a good time. They didn't care about a first-time offender. And now you in prison. It's not the football field.
No, sir.
It's not Reggie McKenzie
No,
camp.
sir.
It's not the Michigan camp. It's not.
It's the real deal.
Bernard living room helping him read his recruiting tools. It's grown men in here fighting, fending,
killing each other.
Literally killing.
Over a Twinkie or a cigarette.
Or whatever it is.
It's different. It's not Michigan State. It's not the dorm. It's not walking on the tundra. It's not going to training camp. It's not going to study hall.
None of that.
Different beast. Every nightmare you had, every cold sweat you had.
Wow.
Everything terrible that you ever thought could have is right in front of your face right now. Ain't nobody there.
And can't nobody help you.
To help you but you.
That is tough.
So,
How old were you when you went to prison?
22.
I caught my case my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
It proceeded for about a year. So my senior year is when I got actually convicted of my crime. My crime was intent to deliver less than
600.
300.
Oh, okay. It was
300. I just made. I could have been doing life.
Yeah, because
they
you
were
got
giving guys
650.
life
But
for
it's
650 grand.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it was 400 grand.
Yep.
So I could have been doing life.
Yep.
Damn. For a first-time offender, and they go to show you, I ain't been in no trouble since then. But I could have been doing life, and they also go to show you this guy's got the death penalty.
Yeah,
man, that's bad.
Yeah,
that's bad, man.
Yeah,
man. Los, real quick, Nardi, I want you to tap into this for about 60 seconds. Los, I got something specific I want to ask you about. Not about rehabilitation, because it ain't that y'all need rehabilitating. That's what I said.
Nothing for me.
That's what I said.
Prison do nothing for me.
You didn't need rehabilitating.
No, that didn't do nothing for me.
What I'm asking you is, once you came home out of that situation, what catapulted you? And then I'm gonna ask you a question because it's somebody specific that I know helped you. Nardi, what really helps you get to the point where you are? You mentoring people. You and I talked about working in the juvenile facilities, and you talking to some of these young people. Talk to me real quick. Talk to our listeners.
Well, what catapulted me, I was at such a low, man, and I was laying down. I was in prison, laying down, man, and it was a hot day. I'll never forget it. And something slapped me in my head. I thought it was some of the guys playing, but it wasn't. And I got up and looked around, wasn't nobody in there or whatever, it was just me. And it's like a voice came over and was like, so you go be a punk now, you just go give up, huh? Because I wouldn't talk to nobody but my mother and my godmother. I wouldn't even talk to nobody, dog, for almost a whole year. I wouldn't talk to nobody. I was so at a loss. All I would do every day, man, was work out and run and hoop or something every day. Because I told them, I'm not working in no field. I'm not working on the side of no road. I don't do none of that, player. I don't do none of that, bro. I said, I work in the athletic department or put me in the hole or whatever. So I ended up having a job in the athletic department. And, that specific day, man, like it slapped me upside my head and like, oh, you go be a punk. If it's a way in, it's a way out. So that day, man, it had to be almost a year in, man, like 9 or 10 months in, man. And I was there. I got convicted in November of 1990. I'll never forget it. About 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. And I got out in 1994 in March.
Wow.
Yeah, of 1994. 4.5 years. And bro, that didn't do nothing for me. But that particular thing with the question with George was asking me, how did it catapult me? I was always trying to read and stay astute and do positive things. But I started, man, I started just making sure I was on a positive note, and I opened up and started talking to people who I knew that was supporting me, and through the grace of God and a lot of prayer and stuff, things started coming around. So I started doing different programs. I started, anytime they wanted me to play sports, anything, I was like, nah, bro, I can't do that. You got to give me some time. I got to get out of here.
There you go.
I got in school. I was taking classes. Because I was, like the same way like Carlos, I was in line. Yeah. I was doing all right in school. It wasn't no issue about in school. Yeah. It's just about messing around with some people you don't know and messing around with the wrong people. And then you got this persona of being about from Detroit that you don't tell on nobody.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell y'all something, young fellas.
Go ahead.
Young ladies. Young fellas, young ladies. And this ain't no Farrakhan stuff, and this ain't no this ain't no big perm or none of these other people trying to fool you. You better stand tall, because when you be sitting there, you are alone. Your life depend on it. When your life depend on it, it ain't none of that. I'm not telling on nobody. They be laughing at me right now, and I'm sure somebody gonna call in when I said it. And I said every week, I say I wouldn't sell these fools a bare aspirin cut in half, because they gonna tell on you.
They gonna tell on you.
Man, listen.
And
go ahead.
I lost $20 million minimum. Yep. And to this day, I still have to wake up and look at that. But I have retribution for the success of my son and my daughter first, and my son, praise God. And, on his, just his health, staying healthy and safety, because sometimes God will leave it laying there and make everybody walk by it and they can't touch it. He waiting on one of your seeds to get it. So this is that opportunity. And I told him, I said, son, all you got to do is what you're supposed to do. I done everything for you and your sister. Just do what y'all supposed to do. And you go have your degree. Wow. You go have a life that you ain't, that's beyond everything. And
beyond imagination.
Keep God first.
But see, B Hall, it's funny. What you're talking about, B Hall, right now is we lose that connection. You talking about your son and your daughter. You giving them that information and keeping them on that track. You said put God first.
Yep.
And have them understand.
That's what he said.
That's the first thing. And I promise you, I ain't no biblical scholar by no means.
No doubt.
But I understand my grandmother, my mother, they some praying individual.
Oh, yeah.
And God rest my grandmother's soul. But I'm telling you, what you're talking about, it is what it is. We get pushed off the track, and we think we doing it by ourselves. Yeah. And you said, you just told me something. You was in the cell. You thought somebody slapped you on your head. Come on, man. You was in there by yourself. Yeah. That was they call the Holy Spirit. Now I know if my mother listening.
Yeah.
Oh, mama listening. Mama listening.
Be like, boy,
Juanita
you
Peterson.
going too far. But I'm telling you, what's happening, that part of it, because it is that Holy Spirit that's telling you, hey, boy, you got hit, you got knocked down, but your story ain't over.
It ain't over.
It ain't ended. And what you got to do is keep going and give that energy to your son, your daughter. Yeah. And listen, see, you say, well, I don't have time. I got a family. I got to work.
Please.
But it's some other kids. Because you talk about Joe Hoskins and what he was doing for you. And you talking about what your coach did. And what he talking about. Listen, B Hall, you have the energy, boy. I'm looking at your body. I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
You have the ability to give more. We can't stop at that, because, see, one thing about it, I hate to say it, but as a coach and as a man, you got to be not only the daddy for your own kids, but the daddy for others. So then you got to keep the train moving.
A bunch of different things.
Listen, so and wearing those hats. So B Hall, I'm telling you, y'all two guys, the celebration of y'all, man, it is outstanding. Because it's too many stories to tell, and we got to do a part 2, and we will do it. But it's just to understand, like for real, I'm like, I just remember just you coming up to Cooley. I knew who B Hall was. Yeah. He coming to gym, he doing his thing.
Yeah.
And like you said, I made him the first pass.
It's different. You didn't have to tackle them.
Yeah,
Check. It's different. Trust me, y'all. It's different.
I
done checked you.
I can tell you who was not going to try to tackle him. Me. Not under no circumstances. But in that gym, but see, you came up there, you had
came up there to hoop.
But you had blankets, and you had blankets. You had the whole, I'm like,
man, we had a ball.
We had a ball, and I tell people to this day, that run at Cooley High School was something.
Some of the sickest.
Like if we had to film that,
we
could sell that.
Think
about. I remember that summer.
Man.
I remember just looking in that parking lot. It had to be almost almost $1 million worth of cars in the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
And
it wasn't nobody gonna touch nothing.
Now listen, and the thing about it, B Hall, myself, and all the other guys, we all competing. But the funny thing about after that, it was all love. Because I'm talking about it's like this.
We sitting in them bleachers after wiping the sweat off our brow, laughing, talking junk, and know we gonna go back at it the next day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The next day, but it was all love. So here we are. I want to talk about this before we get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Los, Keith Bennett.
Wow.
Keith Bennett. Flip the Script program.
Wow.
What Keith Bennett, obviously, we work for Detroit Ceasefire, Detroit Youth Violence Prevention Initiative. Some kind of way they didn't look at the qualifications. Raph is the deputy director. I don't know what happened.
Well, I could tell you what happened. Now, if you see, this is my man. See, 37 years old.
So here it is. This is what we do. So we work very closely.
With the youth.
With the youth. Keith Bennett.
Pioneer.
We trying to stop the recidivism. Talk to us briefly about what Keith Bennett and Flip the Script, what that meant to you.
You know, Keith Bennett and the Flip the Script program, they two different entities to me. Keith Bennett is an entity.
It's in itself.
There you go.
You an engineer right now. Talk to him, Los. People don't know it.
An organization, an entity, Keith Bennett, to me, he was a godsend in my life. He was already just a guardian angel, somebody to pray over you, pray for you, watch over you and stuff, but the words of wisdom. And then I came home, and the Flip the Script program was integral to what I had to do. You know, and it's challenges when you come home from prison.
Ain't no question.
10 years or 4 years.
4.5.
I would even
10.
say 4 minutes.
Shit, for me,
it's
4 seconds.
It's very challenging. And the way that he, the Flip the Script program, helped build me up, give me confidence, because when you come home from prison, you strip down. It's like, damn.
Naked, sir.
Nothing. I ain't worth shit, man. What do I have to do?
Yeah.
You know, and it's a mentality you have to have because you owe people. I owe people.
Yeah, you was calling people collect.
What happened, I was embarrassed what happened to my family. I was embarrassed.
Me too.
With my church family, with my my football family, the Northwest Panthers, and James Woodley. I was embarrassed because I represented the Wolverines and the West Side Cubs. And so I felt obligated not only to come out and represent my family named Marino, my mother, her church family, but all my friends, man, Michigan State, the Michigan State Black alumni. When I came home, all those people, it was really a village that surrounded me.
That's cold.
At the tip of that spear was Keith Bennett and his program, man. It's almost hard to describe the way they try to break you down in prison and what the expectations are when you get home. Because a lot of times you don't have those skills.
Oh, no, absolutely.
You have to go get those skills. You have to seek those skills out because, and I'll say it right now until I'm blue in the face, prison wasted my time. It was a 10-year waste of time for a man that was in there for 10 years on a nonviolent crime that didn't get no issues when he was in there.
And it was purposely done.
And it was purposely
No,
we took it. So we take great, I don't use this adjective an awful lot. We take great black men, 10 years, 4.5 years.
Oh, yeah.
We strategically, in this country, take them away from this community, take them away from their families.
Oh yeah.
So when our families are damaged, they can say, because, well, Carlos wasn't there.
Yeah.
He was a criminal. It's a damn lie. It's purposely done. So y'all are delivering a message right now to our young people. Let's be more careful.
Oh yeah.
Let's be more thoughtful because the plot and the plan is out there to get rid of us. And to look at y'all now, you look good. You driving a Harley, that bike out there, man, I tried to get somebody to come take it, but they said they wouldn't do it. Right? Y'all riding up good, you looking good. But people that don't know you don't know what you went through. So again, we're proud of y'all, man. This is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. To sit here and look at y'all. And again,
I'm very proud.
I mean, well, you ain't got, hey, Ralph created a hell of a studio, right?
Hey, look at the studio.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think he has somebody really come do the work. But check it out.
Studio.
No.
Toast for the studio. Toast for the studio.
Toast for the studio.
I need that.
No doubt.
Toast for the studio.
Toast the studio.
But no, but to end it, but seriously, when you think about what you just said, Carlos, being there, and you were your young man, B Hall, y'all were young men. We need these stories to be told.
Bro, I was 3 years out of high school.
Think about think about what you're saying.
3 years out of high school, bro. Now you know how hurt.
That's a whole different.
You know how hurt, and you looking and cameras in your face, and then you get a district attorney say this guy's a monster.
Call you a monster.
Yeah,
You would never be big.
yeah, you are not. You are a waste. You are. This is what he told me. You are a waste of talent. Said you a monster.
But
I said, all right, my man. I'm gonna pray for you too.
But see, what you're talking about is what the whole thing, and nobody likes to talk about this. See, that was at the beginning of the architect of the crime bill. This is a whole nother subject matter.
Yeah, come
That's
on,
the
dog.
architect
Come on,
of the
dog.
crime bill. But what happens is they look at us as less than human.
Come on.
See, to know Bernard Hall, to know Carlos Marino, is to know human beings. And we can no longer accept it. We have to talk about this. But we, more importantly, talking about it, it has to be an action. We need Black men to come together and take back the community. Because the young guys, they doing what they doing because they misguided. They misled.
Or they aren't guided.
And well,
Misguidance
which is the same thing.
Same thing.
So when we think about that, fellas, man, I'm so appreciative for y'all guys to come. I'm gonna say it again. Y'all guys kept coming. G said y'all was coming, and you still got them hands, boy. Listen. I was going in. So listen, they sparking up them cigars, man. I'm hopeful that the people that were listening, from young athletes, y'all can replay this too now.
That's right.
Some parents, let your sons and your daughters listen to this, because these are Black men that were elite athletes coming out of Detroit. What y'all sons are doing right now is no different. It's nothing new. It's nothing new.
If there was YouTube and social media out in the mid to late 80s, you got to understand what this thing would have looked like for them.
Oh man,
Well, for us too, though. It would have been crazy.
But so to add to that, G, these guys are great men.
Better
Talk
men.
about their sons, their daughters. Think about this. We got to do a better job.
No doubt.
I think it's the beginning. We're going to keep these conversations going. And listen, the Hall, we going to get y'all jokers back on this football field in some capacity. Because we need to bring all these elite guys, football, basketball, track, baseball. We got the talent. We got to just convince the status quo and the people that we are needed. We are admired. And we are the ones to do the job. We can't allow others to do the job.
We can't allow others.
And the word, I don't know who said it, but they always said, if not us, then who?
T. Wheeler, Derek Coleman. Hey, guys, finish up, Ralph, and I'm gonna go. I got something for you
Go
too.
ahead.
I will say this. I will say this to y'all, and I'll say this to everybody. Replay this show. And the one thing we do, we celebrate. I talk about this today to some young people. State Penn or Penn State. What do we celebrate? The problem with us sometimes, we celebrate the wrong things. We celebrate. See, what makes you successful is what you celebrate and what the people around you celebrate. This needs to be a celebration.
That's right.
Y'all need to be a celebration because of what you've done and what you've overcome. And our people need to see, and parents need to look at this thing and say, let me make sure. Nardi, y'all said something today. Hey, these are the most critical times. Your son going off to school, your daughter going off to school, these next 6 years.
Just because you put them, you done everything and let them and bought the car and let them drive to the prom and all
it ain't over.
And all that.
It ain't over.
You think you can breathe and let them fly?
Yes,
no,
sir.
No good.
Come on.
It's no good.
Our director producer saw you. He was shaking his head.
Yeah, that's no good. You got to put your arm around them and see them all the way through.
More importantly, right now.
More important than anything
now.
else right now. And I'm going to say this. I know I cut my boy George off.
No, you didn't.
And
It's
I
your show.
appreciate y'all having me here. But I was just talking last week in the barbershop, and the brother said, yeah, man, I'm this age, and it was full. And I'm almost 60, and I ain't never been in no trouble or got no felony. And I stood up. I said, hold it.
That don't define you.
I said, that's right.
There you
and
go.
I said, and you used the wrong choice of words. I said, because everybody in here that been through something similar and the same, that could have been something.
That just didn't get caught.
You might have been the trial and beat it. You might have paid your way out, or you might have slipped your way through. But everybody been through something that could have been something. So for you to say that, that's no good.
There you go.
Not
up in here.
You got not up in here.
Not up in here.
Check yourself on that. And that's why I tell all of them, I say, bro, luck is good, but grace is better.
That's right.
Y'all better learn. Once you learn what grace is, you going somewhere as a man.
Ooh, but Nardi, listen.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
I need the glasses up.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick,
Yeah.
T, get your...
Come on, man.
Listen,
Come on. Me, bro.
Man, love.
Grand opening.
Terry
grand
Tolman, we love you. We appreciate you. Willie
grand
Mitchell, you made a good show.
Grand closing.
Yeah,
Come on.
Thank you for tuning in to State Champions Podcast.
State
We see
Champions
y'all
Podcast.
next week.
It ain't
We
for
see y'all.
Come on.
We see y'all.
We love y'all. Hey, we love you.